know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio. Flexing, she loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
Scarlet Knights fans, Night Watch listeners, I'm your host Larry K, and I have the unfortunate task of covering Rutgers sports. So welcome to another episode. Today we'll be discussing Rutgers' latest loss. They are 1-2 in the Big Ten now, 8-6 overall, as they fall to Indiana and the Hoosiers and their striped pants, 84-74, going down in style as Ace Bailey scores 39 points. Awesome game from Ace. No assists, though, as far as the stat sheet is concerned. 8 rebounds for him. Dylan Harper does not play. Rumor is it's an illness. He wasn't feeling good. We'll see how all that shakes out. Was on the bench, not looking very happy with a hoodie on. It was a big loss for Rutgers not having their star player, Dylan Harper. You'd have to think with the way Indiana was playing, maybe with Harper, Rutgers would have had a chance. Then again, with absolutely almost nothing from the supporting cast for large stretches of the game, it's hard for Rutgers to win anything at any time. Jermichael Davis with 9 points, 3 rebounds. Somerville with 8 points. Acuff with 7 points. Some decent moves from him, decent shots, but it wasn't near enough. Ogbole, nothing. Martini, nothing. 5 rebounds, no points. PJ Hayes, a big old goose egg once again. When you get absolutely nothing from Hayes, you get absolutely nothing from Martini. It's kind of hard to do a whole lot of anything on the court. And Rutgers goes out, gets the supporting cast members for Ace and Dylan, and for Somerville, and they are supposed to be complements on offense. Maybe you should have gone out and emphasized some defenders going out in the portal, but we didn't do that. We brought in pieces that we thought would complement the offensive side of the ball. Maybe Pike had some vision for how they might play defense. Neither of those things have come to fruition in any meaningful way, and Rutgers' season is at this point in critical condition on immense life support, and I'm at a point where I'm kind of thinking about, hey, can we make the NIT and at least make some kind of run to do something fun for the fans in some way, shape, or form? I'd like some redemption from when we went down and lost our last NIT bid and I had good seats by the floor. I'd like to get some good seats again for an NIT run because that looks like we're headed. Rutgers is going to have to just be absolute world beaters to make the NCAA tournament. It's really not looking like that's a possibility at this point. Of course, I could be wrong. I always give that disclaimer. I could eat crow. I hope I eat crow. I'm a Rutgers fan. I'm a Rutgers alumni. I'm a Rutgers supporter. I'm a Rutgers podcaster. Of course, I'd love to be wrong, and I'd love to make some kind of run, but it's just not looking like that at this point. Couldn't get any more unlucky with Dylan Harper not playing, and then Ballo, who there was some question as to whether or not he would play for the Hoosiers. He does play, and he makes us pay. 17 points for him, 2 assists, 12 rebounds, an absolute dominant force on the defensive side of the ball, a dominant force on the boards, and made us pay really, really roughly. You can say, and I already can tell, I already think people are probably going to say out there, well, we only lost by 10 and we had some decent stretches all without our best player. So just wait, guys. We'll come back and get him next time. Without our best player, we still made it somewhat respectable. Well, a minute into the game, Indiana lost their leading scorer. And he didn't play the entire game in Malik Reneau. So I don't know how you can say that that's not apples to apples. They didn't have their leading scorer. We didn't have our leading scorer. And it wasn't like Indiana came out and dominated us in every facet of the game. What occurred in this game was that Rutgers failed absolutely miserably to take advantage of any opportunities that they had. Let's start with the fact that Ace Bailey hits 2 beautiful threes as bookends to a play that could have amounted to 8 points. He hits 2 beautiful threes on the baseline. In between, Indiana gets a technical foul, and Ace Bailey goes to the line and misses both free throws. Now, am I dissing Ace Bailey or getting on Ace Bailey about the fact that he missed both free throws? No, but I am going to get on the fact that why was Ace Bailey shooting those free throws in the first place? PJ Hayes was on the floor. He could have shot those free throws. If Somerville was on the floor, he could have shot those free throws. We had better free throw shooters on the floor that should have drained those two free throws to complement Ace's back-to-back three-pointers, which would have been a huge swing in the game. There were so many missed opportunities in this game, it's just absurd. You had another chance where Jermichael Davis steals the ball, goes all the way down to the other end of the floor. He's got no help. Nobody's anywhere near him. He goes a half-hearted layup that you know is going to get blocked. It looked like he knew it was going to get blocked, and it does get blocked, and it comes back the other way. You have Durkak missing a layup, and, in the first half, that cost us. You had a pass from Jeremiah Williams to Lathan Somerville when he was wide open as the first half is winding down. That is way too hard. You could put it on both guys. Somerville can't hang on to it, but Williams threw it way too hard. Either way, it's another missed opportunity. And there were so many missed opportunities in this game, whether it be missed free throws, whether it be chances on steals that weren't converted, whether it be good looks that weren't converted. You had Durkak go in there at the rim and just miss an easy layup on a beautiful pass. Just missed opportunity after missed opportunity after missed opportunity led to huge point swings that cost Rutgers the game in a lot of ways. Rutgers' overall field goal percentage was actually 44% to Indiana's 38%. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying that Indiana wasn't some stellar team today. Rutgers just could not keep up because they could not play fundamentally sound basketball, despite a Herculean effort by Ace Bailey, which just dazzled the announcers, dazzled everybody. It wasn't enough. And I think that's the story of this team this year. Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey may dazzle you on a given play. They may dazzle you on the stat sheet, and they are certainly exceptional, to say the least. Excellent basketball players who are going to continue to evolve and become excellent basketball players at a much higher level. And what you're seeing and what you're witnessing now is Rutgers and its coaching staff absolutely blundering and destroying its opportunity to do anything of value with these two incredible basketball players. We have not surrounded them with a good enough supporting cast, but as much as people out there want to say that the supporting cast is terrible, they can't shoot, they can't, play D, they can't facilitate, none of these guys necessarily had these issues before they got here. Now, maybe they weren't up to the caliber of playing at this level efficiently. But why is it, if the problem is the players themselves, then why is it that the same things that continue to haunt Rutgers for the last several years continue to haunt this team as well? The players have changed, their skill sets have changed, their pedigrees have changed, their resumes have changed, but their ills while at Rutgers have not changed. They're inefficient on the offensive side of the ball. They can't hit free throws. They can't hit open shots. They don't shoot well from the perimeter. Why is it that those same things continually plague whoever plays at Rutgers? The common denominator is the program. The common denominator is the coaching staff. The common denominator is the program philosophy. The common denominator is the program culture. Now, the one thing that doesn't fit with that theory is the defense. The defense used to be good. The rebounding used to be respectable. We used to play gritty. But when you go out and you emphasize offense so much, maybe you lose some of those things. And they have certainly not been there for Coach Peichel this year, and they really weren't here last year. Free throw percentage, Indiana, not very good. I mean, they are 64% from the line. Rutgers, worse, though, at 60%. And that was a huge reason why we lost by 10 points, just an inability to connect on free throws. The opportunities were there. They were ample. They were numerous, especially at key points of the game. But Rutgers just absolutely unable to capitalize on free throws. Rebounds, 52-44. Indiana just dominated Rutgers on the boards. Offensive rebounds, 22 offensive rebounds for Indiana. And that was another huge story in this game. Indiana with second chance points was just way above and beyond what Rutgers was able to do. And it was a huge story in this game. Just abysmal on the defensive glass for Rutgers. Offensive rebounds, just out-rebounded. 22 offensive rebounds for Indiana. Just abysmal. Slightly on defensive rebounds, Rutgers had 31, Indiana had 30, so slightly there with an edge. But again, 52-44 overall rebounds in favor of Indiana. 16 assists for Indiana to Rutgers 7. Blocks 4-3 Rutgers, 4-3 Indiana in steals, 10 turnovers for Rutgers, 8 for Indiana. Personal fouls were 21 Rutgers, 20 Indiana. So overall, you see it was really kind of an evenly matched game. It wasn't like Indiana was going out there and setting the world on fire. One thing that's interesting is Indiana had been struggling from beyond the arc for several games, and they come into this game not shooting well from beyond the arc, and this game they get back on track. Of course, they get back on track against Rutgers. Now, part of that might be bad luck, but I think part of that is our perimeter defense, which has continued to struggle and continues to leave guys open, and it continues to be a problem for Rutgers. So teams seem to get right from beyond the arc whenever they play Rutgers, and it absolutely sucks to see. It's not fun, and it continues to be a problem. But I want to look at that assist number, that's 16-7. I thought early in this game, what I thought was going well for Rutgers was, and it was an interesting lineup. You had Martini out there for long stretches early in the game, and again, no points for Martini. And he's got open shots. He chucks up an air ball. He misses shots badly. Then he's not even taking shots. P.J. Hayes is hesitating from beyond the arc. He took a shot. It fizzled out, but then he's not taking shots. He's trying to go to the rim. He gets blocked. I still don't understand why we're not using these kids, why these kids don't know how to be used properly or how to put themselves in position, or why they're not put in position to succeed. But I thought early in the game, I did think when Rutgers took the lead, when Rutgers was keeping pace early in that first half, I did think one of the things that I saw that I liked was there was a lot more movement. It's the type of movement we saw against Columbia, the type of movement we had seen that we thought if they could sustain that, Rutgers might be in a better position going forward. We saw the movement of the ball. Ace Bailey was absolutely on fire. It was clear that he was going to be the leader today. It was clear that he was going to be the impact player, and I was really rooting for some magical game by Ace Bailey to put the team on his shoulders. That's the stuff of legend. That's the stuff that carries him throughout the rest of his basketball career. And I thought he'd put the team on his shoulders and maybe give us a chance to sneak out this victory on the road against Indiana that we really needed for our resume to get to a point where Dylan was healthy so he could come back and these guys could, with renewed confidence and renewed grit, start trudging their way through the Big Ten schedule. But what happened as soon as we started to see, I thought, some adversity and Indiana started to hit some shots and we started to see some stops, some missed shots, was that stagnation, especially in the second half. I started to see that stagnation again of the ball. And it was no more apparent than when Jeremiah Williams, with Ace Bailey open beyond the arc behind him, held the ball for an inordinate amount of time, tried to continue to back his way towards the basket, falls down and loses the ball, and is clamoring for a foul call. There were numerous times where the right guys were either giving up the ball when they should have shot it, or more frequently, they were just hogging the ball, trying to take it, or getting stuck somewhere where there was a more viable option elsewhere on the court. And if you look at those assist numbers, 16 for Indiana, only 7 for Rutgers. Ace Bailey, a magnificent and brilliant game, and you can't blame him because he scored 39 points and he was the only guy who could hit a shot, but he had no assists. And I don't blame him for that, because who are you going to give the ball to when no one's doing anything? So I get it. But again, that offensive stagnation that has plagued this team for years, and certainly has plagued this team this year, reared its head again. As soon as things weren't looking rosy, as soon as things weren't going their way, Rutgers fell back into this odd ISO ball or this stagnation, and they got into these lineups where you don't know who's supposed to have the ball and who should be doing what. And they paid for it. They paid for it. Again, there was damage done down low to Rutgers, but it wasn't that kind of game. Like, that's the thing. It wasn't the kind of game where you look at the defense and you say, wow, they were just absolutely terrible guarding the perimeter. They were. Oh, they were. And they were so terrible, covering the back door, covering a guy going towards the rim. I mean, yeah, they were at times. But this was more a game where Rutgers just could not in any way form any consistency in basic basketball plays, in terms of moving the ball around and finding the open guy, or when the guy's open, catching the ball, completing a pass. When the ball's in the air, getting the rebound, hitting your free throws. This was just another example of a discombobulated, disorganized team that doesn't know who to go to and doesn't know how to fight through and execute at a high level. And it's just the story of the team this year. And, this was supposed to be a special season, and we were lucky to see these guys play. And look, I'm excited to see these guys play. But I sure don't feel special. And I sure am not having fun. And I know there's going to be a lot of talk about this was a road game without our best player, and I get it, but you're already in a hole. Now you're 1-2 in the Big Ten. You already got other resume blemishes. You needed to try to take advantage of this game, especially with Indiana's leading scorer going out. And you're unable to do that. You're unable to do that. And so now I know all the talk, can't wait to be back at Jersey Mike's, can't wait to be back at J Mike's. Yeah, but getting wins at Jersey Mike's in the conference and Jersey Mike's alone in conference is not going to get you to the tournament. It's not going to punch your ticket anywhere important that you want to go. You got to win outside of Jersey Mike's too. I'm sorry to break it to you. And so, yeah, we'll come back to Jersey Mike's Monday, got a game. And, we'll try to, hopefully Dylan Harper will be back on the floor and hopefully we could turn on the Jets again. But time is running out. And building the resume is running out. And if you can't hit free throws and you can't move the ball around and you can't play on the boards and PJ Hayes and Zach Martini can't score a single point and it's becoming a trend now, whether that was misallotment of NIL funds, targeting the wrong guys to bring in the portal, or whether it's a failure of coaching to know how to use those guys properly, however you slice it, those guys giving us 0 points is not good enough to say the least, and that's an exact reason why this team is not going to go very far if that's what's going on. We have Wisconsin at home on Monday, Purdue at home, who's ranked number 20 on Thursday, and we got UCLA. Got a 3-game homestand against really good teams. You could win. What? You win 2 of them. You stay on life support. You win 1 of them. I don't know. Win 1 of them, I guess we don't have to completely give up. But I think most prudent fans will be checking out what the NIT is looking like. You win none of them. Forget about it. It's over. You win all 3, you're kind of clawing your way outside. Now you're back in the general part of the hospital, and you're clawing your way to recovery if you win all 3. But the way this team's played so far, that's highly unlikely. Now, would I love to see it? Do I want to be wrong on that? Sure. If this team gets Dylan Harper back and they can execute the way they did early in the first half of this game, and this team gets Dylan Harper back and they can execute the way they did against Columbia, then sure, they could win all 3 games. Sure, they could make a heck of a run in the Big Ten, but right now they're below 500 in the Big Ten. Right now, their up and down season continues to ebb and flow and go up and down at the worst times. And right now, this team still doesn't have a grasp of its fundamentals, of who they are as an identity, any cohesion, and they're still not getting anywhere near enough from the supporting cast, whether that's on coaching, whether that's on the cast themselves, whether it's a combination of both. It doesn't matter. It's not good enough. It's not fun. It's not acceptable. Props and hats off to Ace Bailey, who played his absolute heart out, but he can't be a one-man team. At some point, it becomes a joke, and at some point, it becomes sad and a letdown, and really, at some point, it becomes unacceptable that you got these 2 supremely talented young men and you surrounded them and didn't have a plan or a strategy to properly capitalize on their talent and to properly utilize them. Yeah, it's bad enough for the fans. But how about these 2 kids? They come in here and they play their ass off, and you're not giving them even a chance to be in the national conversation as far as a team standpoint or a chance to make a run, because everything around them is so abysmal and so subpar, from the coaching to the cast to the philosophy to the strategy, that they can, it's just a futile effort. Every time they go out there and go nuts and have a heroic effort, it's really for naught, because you can't win games. And that's a shame. Now, I understand we had bad luck today with Dylan Harper going. I understand that. But at some point, I'm sick of hearing the reasons why, and I just want some results. And when you look at a game where you're missing free throws and there's all kinds of other fundamental collapses, you have to start wondering what the heck's going on out there. And so while, I give props to Ace, and while I say, having the guts to claw back after being down, I was 38 to 54 maybe, being able to claw all the way back to almost getting within single digits, I guess that shows some moxie, that shows some heart. And I respect that. But just another example of Rutgers failing to do the little things and to make the fundamental basketball plays that give them a chance to win a game. Just another example of them failing to do that. And it's getting tiresome to watch now. So Rutgers limps into Monday at Jersey Mike's against Wisconsin. Another chance to try to even the score in the Big Ten and get to 500. Still plenty of season left. But I am a little bit wary and tired of what we've been seeing. And, to see the efforts of these kids and how good they could be, and then to see the failures all around them is just really disappointing and disheartening. And at some point, you just throw up your hands and you go, what do I do? What are we doing? What are we doing? So I know it's a post-game reaction. My emotions are there, even though I'm trying to stay objective and stay rational for you guys. It's what I try to do. But, got the zone going. We're figuring out how their defense. It's just we're not executing. Plain and simple, not executing. And I don't know who that falls on, but it's just not good enough. And it's tiresome to watch. It's tiresome to watch now. And you throw in the bad luck with Dylan not playing, and then Indiana's leading scorer goes out, but we still can't do anything, and you just scratch your head and you wonder what's going on. Imagine if Hayes and Martini had just 1-3 each. We're only down by 4, and then we make a couple free throws. Look, all of a sudden we're tied or we win. Getting tiresome, guys. It's getting tiresome, and hope is running out, and time is running out, and that's where we are with this season, and it's getting frustrating because it's a lot of the same problems we saw last year, and yet we have some of the best players in college basketball, yet some of the same problems that are rearing their heads. So, tough game, tough night as always. Try to enjoy your weekend. Try to occupy your time with something else. Hopefully, maybe you're a hockey fan, and if you're a hockey fan, I hope you're a Devils fan. Then again, they're 0-3 in their last 3 games. So I don't know. I don't know if I could offer you much hope. Maybe you're an Eagles fan if you're in South Jersey. That's all I could, I guess, throw your way. So, other than that, I hope you've enjoyed my post-game. Remember that we are available as an audio podcast on every major podcasting platform. And if you're here and you made it through this show and you've seen me more than once and you've listened or you care about college ball or Rutgers sports, even if you're an Indiana fan, whoever you are, please hit that subscribe button. Just consider smashing it. It's right there. Every subscriber counts. Every subscriber is a huge help to get me toward 1,000, which gives a whole lot more opportunity to this channel. So if you've tuned in before, please, on your way out, hit that subscribe button. It takes a millisecond there, and it helps the channel quite a bit. I will talk to you guys soon. We will tune into Steve Peichel's presser. We will dive into more things. Make sure you're watching the other content creators out there. And please excuse my Thursday night half apathy, half depression. It's just what Rutgers does to me. I'll talk to you guys soon. Larry K is out.